Interjection here from Nation Warriors. This is a random 1v1 commentary between myself playing Spanish and a guy called Shaggy77 playing Dutch. Now, I'm not going to make it part of the commentary series I've done where I've labelled my games 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I don't really think it's a good enough game to be put in that series. Obviously, it's up to my same standard of gameplay, but I think the commentary series deserves games where both players play really well and the game is interesting and it keeps going back and forth. You know, you don't know who's going to win. This one, I'll tell you now, I do win, and I win quite hard. Now, Shaggy77 is a very good player. Don't get me wrong, I've played him several times, and he's beaten me on multiple occasions. But this particular game, he decided to play Dutch, and I decided to do some crazy Rambo Spanish fast fortress where I, not a regular one, but I decided I'd like test a new strategy I saw a high-level player do. I didn't make this up. I just thought I'd pull this out of my bum, you know. Anyway, I'll show we'll see how this goes later on in the game. But anyway, I thought the main idea behind this commentary would be to just explain how to Spanish fast fortress, or how to get to the fortress age on time, and how to pull out the units out your, you know. Anyway, so the first thing I'm going to say to that is collect 800 food as fast as you possibly can and go to age 2. And now that idea is pretty simple. Hopefully you can apply that to your game. No. Anyway, and start herding as soon as you can. Right here you see I'm 1 minute in, and I'm going to bring in that herd as soon as the game begins, essentially, so that I can have a nicely placed herd in my town pretty soon. Now, obviously that's going to help me collect food faster because my villagers won't have to walk as far to start collecting. And also the main idea, I've done many videos on herding now, so the main idea behind it is so that you have safe collectible place, because you want to be able to access that faster gathering food source. Now, your first shipment, as I'm coming up to my first shipment here, obviously is 3 villages. Now, make sure you build your house pretty early. Build your house, like, you only need 1 house. Do not waste your wood, because right here I'm collecting a 95 wood treasure, and obviously this is Asian Dynasties, but on vanilla that's 135. Any of that wood treasure is going to help me get a trading post. And you only need 1 house. Well, there's no point in building 2. But anyway, you should build your house as soon as you can, because then that gives you a little bit of extra XP, which contributes towards your first shipment, which means you can get your first 3 extra villagers in the queue coming faster. And I built my house very late. That's why I chose 3 villagers to build it, because if you don't send your 3 villager shipment the moment you get your first shipment, then you're kind of wasting time. And obviously, especially when you're any fast fortress, you really do need to be quick. Every second counts. Now, well, really, that idea kind of applies to the entire game as a whole, but especially true for this. Anyway, still bringing that in, and here's a settler treasure I decided to go for. I kind of thought, right, I'm not going to get it in the end. I probably could get it using this technique here called creeping, but I don't get it in the end because I feel as if the game was lagging a bit. And no, I'm not going to make excuses. I didn't get that treasure because my my explorer was low on hit points and he'd die. Anyway, here we are, aging up at exactly 800 food. Oh my goodness, I'm on time for once. On some of my other commentaries, what's that? Anyway, commentaries, I seem to have like 900 food and absolutely failboating along before I even choose to age up. So, good idea to get age up in queue as soon as you can, because then obviously you're not wasting any time. Right here, I've just switched all my villagers onto wood. Now, the idea behind that is to get just enough wood for that trading place. And please note that I have done that after I've aged up. I've hit the age up button. I'm now like a quarter way aged through, maybe a third, I don't really care. And I'm going to get 200 wood, or on the vanilla you would have 250 wood. But here, just getting just enough wood for that trading post. Now, if you're finding a treasure like I did, that makes things a lot smoother because you don't need to collect just as much wood. But even if you don't find a treasure, it really is a good idea to get that wood, to get that, obviously, that trading post as soon as you can. That really does help, or you really do need it, because although Spanish shipments do come faster, trading post makes them come like essentially double times super quick. Well, I don't know how much quicker, but it's, you know, a trading post gives you XP, which we all know gives you more shipments. Now, I've got my first shipment in age 2 is going to be 700 coin, but we're not quite there yet, so I'm going to move back into the game at this moment. Right here, I've got my war dog in my opponent's base. I'm scouting him. He's just aged up, and I noticed that the Dutch player, Shaggy, chose to age up with 400 wood. Now, the idea behind that is 400 wood's going to help him get his first bank, and I know that for a fact, so, you know, it's just helping me. I'm hoping to decide, or hoping to try and find out what strategy I think Shaggy's going to pull, so I can then, you know, adapt to the situation at hand and hopefully pull a strategy out my bum that can counter him. Now, obviously here, my first shipment, 700 coin, I sent that the moment I hit age 2. I have, like, kind of, I think in commentary number 4, I didn't send it for like 20 or 30 seconds. It was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, you need to get that in queue as soon as possible, like I have here. Obviously, then it arrives sooner, you collect it up sooner. If you're going to be rushed, then, well, I'm not going to be rushed, but if I were, then, you know, I'd be able to hit age 3 faster, and then I can defend myself in age 3 when the 4 cavalry arrive, because obviously you age up to age 3 with 4 hussars. I suppose you could go with 8 pike, but the hussars generally are better. If you think of it like this, 4 hussars is, what, 800 resources worth of stuff, whereas 8 pikemen is not quite that much anyway. Also, pikemen aren't really that useful unless you're really going to be Ramboing it like I am here. So I actually, despite everything I've just told you or just said, I choose to age up with 8 pikemen, because 8 pikemen have siege damage, and the reason I'm building this forward outpost is to act as a drop-off point, so that when I age up, those 8 pikemen will arrive literally next to my opponent's base, you know, and I can just send them straight in. Here we are, 700 wood arrived. That is my second shipment. Here I'm seeing age up with 8 pikes. Anyway, back to this wood. Second shipment is going to help me build. Normally, it would help you build 5 houses and a military building. So that would be a stable or a barracks, and you'd usually just scout, well, I would scout my opponent and work out what military building he's going to build, or, you know, kind of work out what troops would be better to fight my opponent. Go find his army, go find something he's done, and then whatever, build the counter anyway. Mostly I usually go with his barracks, because it just seems to be more common that you need a barracks, and you train skirmishers, yay. Anyway, here I'm sending the 8 pikeman shipment, the colonial-aged 8 pikeman shipment. Now, this is going to stack with my Fortress age up of 8 pikemen, giving me 16 pikemen literally, like, really quick in the game. Like, I know he's fast fortressing, because I checked his base, and I saw 700 wood arrive, and of his 700 wood for the Dutch player is going to help him build 2 banks. That's exactly enough wood for 2 banks, and a competitive Dutch fast fortress strategy always incorporates 3, you know, at least 3 banks. I think my opponent here goes for 4, which is only helping me out because it slows his age up down by that much. Anyway, these 8 pikemen are going to rush into his base and start just destroying stuff, you know. Go for the buildings that are going to hurt the most. So, like, don't go for his town center. That would be just completely stupid, because you would not bring a town center down no matter how hard you tried. So go for these weaker buildings. I see this barracks, and I'm going to go straight for it. And now I'm pretty wary, so I'm going to stay here and watch my pikemen, because I know that some skirmishers are going to pop out, or some minutemen are going to be called, and I don't want to lose any pikemen. And even if you don't bring the barracks down, just get out of there. Look, here the minutemen are going to run away. Don't want to lose any pikemen, because chances are I might bring the barracks down, but I have just lost my entire shipment. Why not come back another day? Hopefully just before he's able to hit the repair button. Anyway, I'm now sending the advanced church card. Now, the idea behind this is I will collect 1,000 wood, and Spanish have a nice little upgrade for the Fortress Age in their advanced church, which allows them to send 13 guard halberdiers, or halberders. I do not know how you say that, but I'm going to have them, and they're going to have absolutely mammoth siege damage as well, in combination with these 16 pikemen. I did say you get out as soon as you come, but I've got obviously 16 now, it's a little bit more, and I'm going to finish off that barracks and get out. And these 2 forward villagers, building me a barracks here, going to start training skirmishers from that as soon as I have the resources. Got that advanced church card in queue. Now the explorer here is going to go in to kill off the minutemen. Hopefully they'd be 1 HP, and the explorer can just pop off a single shot, you know, kill them off one by one. But I sent him in a bit too early, and the minutemen had too many hit points, and they kind of killed him off before I could kill any. So we kind of diverted away from how to do a fast fortress onto this crazy Rambo. And I really would advise you not to replicate this, because in a real game, well, not that this isn't a real game, but this guy's playing Dutch, so it's a bit different. If your opponent was to rush you, pikemen would just not help you. They just wouldn't. Anyway, here, I get real close to the minutemen and kind of stop. What a failboat. I was using the press the alt key, then right click, or some people use the attack move. I don't know how to do that, something control and some other key. But anyway, your units then will select a different unit to attack. So I missed the Alt key and probably pressed the Windows key, so they kind of stopped and did nothing. But yeah, I did get the Minutemen dead in the end, and now not going to go for that town centre, no point. Going to keep going for these weak buildings like houses. I've killed his market. The reason behind that was because Dutch players almost always use their market to buy wood, because buying wood enables them to get more buildings like houses, barracks, and banks up. Now, and obviously because the banks generate quite a lot of coin, but you shouldn't be buying too much wood, like just enough really, just like in the early, because it does get a bit expensive and isn't really worth doing. But the idea behind this is I'm completely destroying all of his buildings that cost wood, and hopefully starving him of population, so he can't even train units, or now all of his settlers have to collect wood, and he can't make any units anyway because he hasn't got the resources to do it, or even if he has, he'll have a stack of coin because of the banks, but hopefully his food pile will be a bit low. Now I'm getting these halberdiers away from the skirmishes, because if I walk towards his skirms, then skirms move pretty quick and he would just micro me. He'd just be like hit and run and bang them, so that I wouldn't have any halberdiers left. So that is the reason I decided to ship in lancers, because I knew he'd have skirmishers to counter them. And obviously lancers doing their 20 times 3 against skirmishes is pretty good damage. Now the other option, and I think I was advised after the game, you could probably send the cannons. Now normally I wouldn't send falconets very early on in a fast fortress at all, because falconets are very easily killed if you do not have enough anti-cavalry to defend them with. Obviously I've just aged up with a bunch of pikemen and some halberdiers, so I can pretty much go for them cannons, which are pretty damn good, cannons, yeah. But and normally I wouldn't be able to protect them, but here I've got enough anti-cav to protect them. And a different scenario where this fight took place, I would have had my pikemen back, my halberdiers back. I wouldn't be attacking this town centre. I'd have my cannons doing that, with my halberdiers protecting my cannons. So if anything turned up, obviously I can then protect the cannons. Anyway, this is He Calls Good Game and asked me for a rematch. I'm completely up for that. We didn't actually have a rematch in the end. I don't know where he went, but I would have done it. That was fun. Played Shaggy a few times. Very good player. This game didn't turn out too well for him because I pulled a completely Rambo strat on him, but, whatever. Anyway, I'll speed up the video and we'll get to them graphs. Or perhaps I won't speed it up. Here they are. Anyway. So, villager count. I do stop villager production for quite a long time in that game. Really could have had better villager management, seriously. This is because I've only ever done this strategy like once, twice, maybe a few times. Like, this is the actual first proper time I've done it in a competitive game. Other games would have been like more unrated games. But yeah, my villager management wasn't very good, and I haven't had time to talk about any of the other graphs, so whatever. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the game, and yeah. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and do subscribe if you would like to see more from this channel. If you're interested in joining us or would like to get in contact, then visit our forums at nationofwarriors.co.uk/forum. Links are in the description.